the new Hayward. Now, it's going to be a little because they got Gordon Hayward signed a $128 million contract with the Boston Celtics, and which is well and good, but I'm more interested to see how he fits into this system. I mean, he knows how to play this system. He, was coached under Brad Stevens at his years at Butler. Back-to-back national championships. Didn't win them, but came close. But it's interesting to see because the simple fact that people automatically are assuming that the Boston Celtics are going to be the number one seed now and come out of the East. Maybe number one seed. I can see that because the Cavs might coast again to try to get into the playoffs healthy, especially LeBron this year as he gets another year older. But people don't realize that the Boston Celtics are losing a couple players. They're going to have to get rid of Marcus Smart. Maybe even Tony Rozier's contract. Already made Kelly Olynyk a free agent. So my thing is, people don't need to jump to conclusions. He's not the second coming of Larry Bird or anything like that. He's a good player. He had a really good season, but he's been in the league for 7 years. So it's still interesting to see how they're gonna do this, because they're still, to me, a year or two away. Maybe if they could have got a Jimmy Butler, or if they could have got a Paul George, then yeah, I feel like that would have been more competitive. But Isaiah Thomas is in the past first point guard. Yeah, he averaged almost 30 points a game, but he's not going to get you 10 assists. Gordon Hayward's a good passer. He averaged 5.6 assists a couple years ago. He averaged 5 assists last year, which is good, and he was an all-star. But I feel like he'll become an all-star in the East because the East is a lot weaker now. But as the state of the Boston Celtics, they look good, but they're still a year, maybe 2 years away, depending on if LeBron James leaves. Now, Jason Tatum is looking really good in Summer League to me. He's looking really good. It's looking like a good pickup from Danny Ainge. But at the same time, people need to be, a little bit patient, see how that turns out. Maybe he becomes great. He'll be a really good scorer in this league. I know that he can score the basketball. But at the same time, he's not going to change life this year. It's going to take him a year or two to develop. So people need to be patient when it comes to that. And Isaiah Thomas his contract is due up next year. He's going to want money. Him and Avery Bradley, they're going to want money. And he's probably going to want max money next year. So who knows what's really going to happen. But my thing is, you need to take it slow. This year, you guys aren't winning the East this year. I'm sorry. It's a little bit ridiculous. I got Boston Celtics fans talking about they're going to win the East this year. It's not going to happen. I don't see it. You may have bought yourself, instead of losing in 5, you're losing 6. Which is, I'm happy for you guys, but at the same time, you're not beating the Cavs. So my thing is, Gordon Hayward's a good pickup. I like Gordon Hayward. But if this is the only offseason move that, Danny Ainge had called at the beginning of the year, it's a little bit ridiculous. And there's conspiracy theories going out that, they didn't want to trade, Paul George to the Celtics or to the Cavs, which is okay. That's fine. If you guys there's no way you can make me believe that if you're offering first round picks, a couple star players, that they're not going to take it. That's my thing. I just don't get that at all. Like, there's no way you can make me believe that. So that being said, I think it'll be interesting to watch, but at the same time, I don't see him changing life this year. It's a good pickup. He could be a third best player on the championship team, but can he be your franchise player? No, because he finally got the Jazz to the playoffs after 7 years, in the league, and just became an all-star. So my thing is, people need to slow their roll, take it slow. They'll be a really good defensive team. They had difficulty scoring last year a lot. So I think that'll help with Gordon Hayward and Jason Tatum. But, and Al Horford is, he's good, but he'll get you like 18 and 9 a game. But he's undersized for his position to me. So as my ranking as, Boston Celtics, they'll probably get the number 1 seed. They'll be top 2 seed next year in the East, especially given how least the East is, the Leaster Conference, as Skip Bayless calls it. But whatever. But my thing is, they'll be a better team, of course. Like I said, maybe even get the first seed, but it won't matter to the Cavs because the Cavs presently constructed. They don't need to make moves. Why would you need to make moves? Because you're going to grow through the East. The biggest trouble you're going to get into is going against the Warriors, which I'll talk about in another video. That's the biggest problem you'll see. I mean, so with that being said, I think Gordon Hayward is a good pickup for Boston, but I think they're still a year or two away, even another player away, maybe 2, from really, taking LeBron James out. Unless LeBron James leaves and there's nobody else in the East, then I can see them winning and going to the finals. But other than that, as long as LeBron James are on the Cavaliers and they can stay constructed the way they are and not make any moves, they're still the top cream of the crop in the Eastern Conference, to me.